Now, Storm Watch 12 weather with meteorologist Oliver Smith.
Well, temperatures have sure warmed up in the Rogue Valley and extending out towards east of the Cascades as well. In fact, it was 95 degrees. That is the current temperature in Medford, but temperatures primarily into the 60s along the Oregon coast. Those 74 right now in Brookings, but 80 in Chemult, 83 out in Christmas Valley. Now, some interesting things I want to show you from the Smith River Complex fires is smoke being picked up on the radar. You could actually see these plumes. They're kind of just bubbling up, and then they're pushing off towards the north. So that's actually smoke, not precipitation, except for the thunderstorm that's above my head. I'll show you that here in the next slide here. But here's some more. Again, smoke moving from south towards the north. Again, you can also see the back edge of the smoke here on the visible satellite imagery. Now, again, we have thunderstorms already starting to form in the Siskiyous along Siskiyou County. So again, this is already right over Happy Camp moving towards the northwest. Again, you could actually see for a second there the clouds and the smoke. But we do have more thunderstorms out east of the Cascades, primarily over Lake County. Again, they're moving from the southeast towards the north and the west. Not a whole lot of lightning strikes yet. I've only counted up to 12 at one particular point. So at least that's good for right now, but that will increase as we go through the overnight hours. Now, the area of low pressure is actually moving off towards the southwest. That's actually helping to trigger some of the thunderstorms that we have now. That's also going to trigger more heat as we go through the next couple of days. More on that in a little bit. But again, the latest air quality, the unhealthy air right now is essentially right over that Smith River Complex fires, and they're pushing off towards the east, or at least it will be here pretty soon. In fact, you can see that here with our smoke level forecast. Again, it's doing a pretty good job of showing the actual current smoke, but as we go through the next couple of hours to roughly about 10 o'clock to midnight tonight, that smoke is going to push from west towards the east and eventually make it east of the Cascades as well. And the problem with this is that it's not really going to go anywhere. The only place that's going to get a break would be the Oregon coast tomorrow, later in the day, and that sticks around a little bit through Friday as well, but then that smoke goes right back into the coast and stays in the Rogue Valley and still filters east of the Cascades as well. So again, the thunderstorms that we were looking at, those were east of the Cascades so far, but they're already starting to form down towards the Siskiyous, and they're going to be moving up in the area shaded in red. So again, we do have plenty of lightning that will be associated with these thunderstorms. They're not going to have a whole lot of rain because they're going to be moving awfully fast. So that's going to be a problem, especially in Curry County. So we're going to have these thunderstorms throughout the overnight hours. Eventually, once we get up towards the early part of the morning for tomorrow, we'll have less activity. But again, you can see plenty of activity out over Lake County and the eastern half of Klamath County as well. Now we go through Friday and Saturday, things really start to calm down. The only real significant thing would be along the Oregon coast, some drizzle at times. So there's that area of low pressure that's going to pump up some heat, keep temperatures pretty hot for the next couple of days. But then we cool off as we get towards north next week, and it'll feel a lot nicer for many locations. Now you can see we'll have a system move through Tuesday, and that'll provide some rain that will help the fires up north, but it won't help us down here, except for cooler temperatures. But it's 95 degrees right now and pretty dry air, but we're forecasting 64 for tonight, 55 for Klamath Falls, and tomorrow we'll see 96 in Medford, 69 degrees in Brookings. So here's your 7-day forecast for the Oregon coast. We'll stay in the 60s for the next several days, still smoky conditions through the weekend. Northern California, again, we're going to stay in the 90s, but we finally cool off by Tuesday. Kind of same scenario for the Klamath Basin. Smoke lingers, but again, it's going to feel much nicer as we get into next week. Cascades, same scenario, 80s and then 70s will feel nicer by Tuesday. The Rogue Valley, it's going to stay pretty hot and smoky through Sunday, and it finally cools off by Tuesday.